Hello, everyone. Welcome back to but we're actually welcome back to something. We're actually continuing this later on because the DLC's out.
Wow.
Also, thanks, Trav, for recording it for us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
What the hell was that? Was that Heihachi?
What?
the two eyes staring at me with like the bloodshot of like the Heihachi after you got thrown off the cliff.
I have no.
Is that what happened?
Did you open the right video?
No, I'm opening the right video. We're watching Doom, right?
Last time on Doom Eternal Z.
So this video in the background is not there in the base game. It's just a fucking black screen with text. So I put this on as a refresher. So last time,
Look at you with your spiffy editing.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I learned Premiere.
You did more work than
It's
they
just
did.
about as legible as the fucking opening crawl on DMC.
Why didn't they do this?
Like, I love reading shit.
Yeah, I don't know why they did this. But basically, Doom Man kill Angel. Angel's angry. Find Big Angel. That's
Find
all
Bigger
I got.
Angel, yes.
Die, Angel, die. I think that's how that book ends.
Yeah, I don't know why they added these opening text memes. It's annoying because there's a
Was it just to catch you up on the original game?
Yeah, it's just to
if
catch you up on the story.
Didn't play it?
because they sold the DLCs as separate campaigns just for I don't know who.
Oh, really?
Like I don't know who the fuck the market is for buying them
Just the
separately.
DLC.
But
So wait, do you not even have to beat the main campaign or to play
yeah,
these?
you can just jump
Yeah.
right into this.
You could just jump right in. That's really weird.
So this is probably the only time you're gonna see the standard Doom guy costume, because after this part I start fucking around with costumes.
Yay. Official ones or mod ones?
Oh, all of the skins you see are official. I don't really bother with mods with this game too often, though there are some pretty cool mods out there.
Modding all depends on just how good it looks as is, and if there's little to no clipping issues. Clipping drives me nuts.
Oh, then you're gonna love the mod that replaces the rifle with his pet rabbit.
Oh.
Oh, we throw.
Does
oh,
it
we
shoot
throw.
actual rabbits?
Yeah, we throw Daisy at him.
No, the Daisy shoots rockets. I actually don't remember if it's rockets or the rifle. And then the you can mod it so that the rockets are actually the Dopefish model.
Oh, fucking dude, we're gonna go take a look at the clone army.
Yeah, dude. So here's San Francisco.
What?
That was good. It looks a lot like Big Shell.
Yeah, actually it does. So this is just an oil rig in the middle of nowhere that's allegedly holding the body of Super Angel. And right away we're jumping into the action.
It's nuts.
And beware of demons. So
Dude,
this is really just going to be
Just everywhere.
12 parts of just high octane demon slaying.
Dude, I remember first booting up this level, and then it just happens immediately. And I'm like, oh no, we're already here.
Yeah, like you really are just thrown into
Yeah.
it.
And it's like, you know, it's not exactly the hardest arena in the game following the base campaign,
Yeah.
but it's still like, oh shit.
Well, it's like the game is like, dude, you have your whole arsenal. What did you think?
Yeah, you have all the upgrades from the base campaign all ready for you, so you're fully loaded. Every rune is already there, except they give you like the default first 3 runes as what's equipped, and that always throws me off, because that's not what I use.
Like I would say that in a way that this makes the campaign something that you shouldn't just jump into.
Oh
then.
yeah, it's wild
because
that you
everything is
can
just-
just
Absolutely not.
It's thrown everything. Yeah, you're thrown into it, and you just have everything. So you're like overwhelmed if you're just like, hey, I want to play the new Doom Eternal. Oh god, they're everywhere.
I guess it's good if you.
What are these
And I have
enemies?
everything.
I guess it's good if you like play between like platforms or something. That way, like if you're playing on like one console and then you play on PC or whatever, you don't have to play through the whole game again just to
that's
play
fair.
the DLC.
That would be freaking weird for someone to be like, "Oh, I could finally play this on PC. I'm gonna jump right into the camp or the DLC." But,
I mean,
you know,
I kind of want to go back to the
each their
DLC.
own. I mean, I wouldn't mind playing it on the Nintendo Switch. Hello?
God, I feel like I wasn't gonna say anything because I can't. It actually kind of nicely leads into what I was gonna bring up because even today I still have not played this or 2016 Doom.
John,
let's change that.
And I
Here we
feel
go.
that they've been on my bucket list for a long time.
John, why?
Well,
I gotta say, like growing up, like Doom is one of those series, and I think I said this before on the original 2016 commentary. Like I've known this series since its inception. Like I've seen plenty of people play it throughout the years on different consoles, but I just never found interest in playing it myself. To me, originally it was just the idea of traveling in a 3D plane that wasn't really a 3D plane. You were just kind of going.
Yeah.
Up and down, up and
No,
down.
it's not even. It's not even as
I
a
really
glorification.
wasn't into Doom when I was a kid. Like I was very into Quake.
Yeah.
And honestly, like Doom Eternal takes a lot of influence from Quake.
yeah. Doom 2016 and Eternal feel a lot more like Quake,
Yeah.
obviously with the Doom coat of paint, but
And okay, did Quake come
No.
first?
No.
Or was that
No.
Wolfenstein?
Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein
First.
was first, then Doom, and then Quake.
Okay. Yeah, because what's funny is because I know people love Quake. Like anybody that I know that's a fan of Quake absolutely fucking loves that series. But compared to Doom or Wolfenstein, I didn't really hear anybody talk about Quake. Is that because of its base? Or was it because it was only on PC for
Doom-
a time?
Quake-
it's for a couple of reasons.
Yeah, Quake
I'll
has
let
a-
you say,
yeah.
Gil. You might have more first-hand experience.
Quake has kind of like a different situation. Like the fan base is kind of split because a lot of us are big fans of the first game because the first Quake game really has never had a sequel. Because Quake 2 was not supposed to be the sequel to Quake, and it's besides like movement and stuff, it's really not like the first Quake game, like in tone or
In Japan, it was Doki Doki Panic.
it's literally yeah.
Doki Doki
But,
Boom Bang.
So it's like there's all these sequels to Quake. Like there's Quake 2, there's Quake 3 Arena, there's Quake 4, but Quake 4 is a sequel to Quake 2. So yeah, so
fuck?
like because it never had like a really solid identity, and a lot of people always wanted a sequel to the first game, it could have never got the same footing Doom did. Because it never really
Yeah.
had the same kind of like solid identity.
Really, so Quake 1 wasn't even what it was supposed
Yeah,
to
yeah,
be
yeah.
in the end. Like, they wanted it to be this sprawling, semi-open
RPG.
world RPG where you play as a guy who throws a hammer around like Thor. And then they just ended up making it Quake, Doom, but actually 3D.
It's like gothic
and
Doom.
then, yeah, and like the aesthetic is really cool. It sucks that we never got a sequel. Hopefully that changes.
Yeah.
But then Quake 2 came out, and it was a completely different game. Turns out it started as a completely separate game that they were gonna call War, spelled W-O-R, and then they decided, hey, we can't come up with a name for this. It's running on the Quake engine, so let's just call it Quake 2.
Wait, I'm not buying your game. You can't even spell war.
Wow. Good,
just
good guy. Yeah.
The investors immediately
Oh
left.
yeah, so real quick, this is the first new enemy of the campaign. It's a turret with an eyeball. If you get too close to it, the
Sauron's-
eyeball runs away, so you gotta make sure you're far away from it.
Well, it's one of those things where the model for the eye was a thing you shot in the main game,
Yeah.
but it wasn't a turret. It's a little weird
Oh, so it's like a repurposed
thing. Yeah.
sort of asset.
Like these guys were like, I guess locks that you would shoot that would also shoot back.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, that's security.
And now they're repurposed. Okay, so a quick disclaimer. Not like it matters, but maybe you'll think that it's cool. This was recorded after the second DLC expansion came out, where they did... Okay, so right after the first expansion came out, they nerfed this campaign heavily. Because everyone was like, this
Yeah.
is way too fucking hard. But then, enough people caused an uproar so that they reversed the changes.
Now it's
and
too easy.
That's what we're... Yeah, basically.
Did they
So you're OG difficulty.
Yeah, this is as hard as it originally was. However, the turrets did their buff stay, or their nerf stayed, because if you shot them once, the eyeball would immediately retract, and you would need to wait for it to come back up again. Whereas now you could just shoot it twice and it's gone.
They were kind of like just goes against the flow
Yeah,
of
it
everything
would
else
make
that's
you sit
happening on
there
the
and
screen.
wait.
Yeah, which this game does not want
Yeah.
you to do. It just doesn't.
So there was a lot of trial and error for them, from how it sounds. They were also found out after the fact that they were basically on a time limit to get both campaigns released. within a 1-year deadline after the base game's release. So there's some fucky stuff later on.
Trav, did they undo the changes to that one Slayer gate that made me want to die? The one that was like, what is it? There's it's
the one with the possessed Marauder.
Yes.
They made that one easier.
And the carcasses all over the place. And
yeah, I'm pretty sure that they made that one easier. We'll get to that. I do show it off.
Oh God.
That's one of those gates where I was like, okay, this has to be easier on PC.
That's literally the only part of the game I've ever had legitimate trouble with, where I was like, I want to give up.
Yeah, so...
what are there different difficulties for this?
Yes, so this is on Nightmare difficulty. It's the hardest available difficulty that isn't a gimmick. It really just means enemies are way more aggressive, which goes well with the flow of the game. Like, this is... I'm gonna say, this is probably the first game I've played that made me realize, oh, maybe playing games on the hardest difficulty is a lot of fun. Because... just the way that the difficulty is tuned for Doom and Doom Eternal, well, Doom Eternal specifically, not really Doom 2016, is just addicting with how fast it is.
Yeah, because there is, as an aside, so John's, where there is an Ultra Nightmare, which is a gimmick, you die and start the whole campaign over again thing.
Yeah, permadeath mode.
Okay.
I did a full live stream of beating the base game on Ultra Nightmare. I was exhausted.
What is that Twitch channel, might you be
Oh,
wondering?
twitch.tv/BrainScratch Commentaries.
No, not that one. We barely use that.
Twitch.tv /TravGuyTV.
There you go.
But yeah,
Plug your shit.
Wow, me too! I had a running series because it was like, hey, this is basically content I could stream forever because I'm never going to actually beat it, right? And then like 2 weeks later, I actually beat it.
Oh, so you're like Plankton. It's like, I don't know, I never thought I'd actually get this far.
Yeah. So I have beaten it on Ultra Nightmare before. I made sure that I beat it on Ultra Nightmare before I made my review of it way back when. But it was like, all right, I did that once. I'm never doing it again. Oh, by the way, here's a Marauder. I don't know if John saw the Marauders last time. So I
oh yeah, because I've heard of them. People were like, either they're perfectly designed enemies or
it's
they're
my
too
favorite.
hard.
So yeah, I love them.
Yeah.
But people fucking hated this guy.
Well, they look very spry.
So their gimmick is they're basically invulnerable to everything you do unless you see that green flash, which indicates that they're about to attack you.
Which I'm not
the
biggest fan of from a design standpoint with the rest of the game. Like,
yeah, they do stick out like a sore thumb.
The design is, their visual design is great, and I think they could work great as enemies in other things. It's just this game, and particularly more than Doom 2016, is it promotes aggression. It wants you to keep firing. It wants you to keep moving. And this one type of enemy is just kind of like, okay, time to stop doing that if you want to, like, play it safe. You know, obviously there are ways to get around that, but most players aren't going to be good enough to do that.
They did thankfully adjust him a bit post-launch to make him fit with that. Oh, by the way, this is a 100% playthrough, so we're doing all the
I think he goes...
It's a tricky thing to adhere to the game's flow and make an enemy unique at the same time.
I think he does. I think he's like I don't think he actually breaks up the flow of the game. I think it adds to it in my opinion. Like, I feel like it's like,
I agree.
How so? When you like, how does it add to the flow in your opinion?
So, depending on like because like whatever given arena you're in, there's going to be X amount of demons of varying types, and like you can't just like go around all willy nilly. You kind of have to like manage everything and see, okay, which guy should I go after first, or which one should I inflict some damage on and get the fuck away. Like, you kind of have to like pay attention to what's going on and react to specific demons depending on the situation. So I just think that he's a different, like a little bit of a mix-up in that, but I don't think it really necessarily breaks up, because you can get away from him and do some other shit, like, as long as you're fast. But he's like a demon where it's like,
Unless he's a
demon where like, oh shit, he's here. I have to, like, he needs my attention. So now I need to figure out how to not get my ass kicked, but also take care of him. I think there's another demon in, I think, DLC Part 2 that actually does fuck with the flow of the game. So...
Stone Imps?
No. What is it, Blood...
I'm curious to know, but I don't want to say this yet.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I think I know. Mm-hmm. We'll get there.
I mean, we don't give a fuck about spoilers here for the record. I don't.
What do you mean? BrainScratch Commentaries is all about the flow of canonicity.
No, the C for BSC stands for cucking.
Trav.
And...
Huh?
I was going to say, just so I don't give it away, the guy that hangs out in the sky and shoots shit at you, and you have to hit him in a certain place, and you get a tiny
Dad?
window.
There's a lot to it.
Are you talking about the Blood Angels?
Yeah, yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think the Blood Angels definitely are a sin.
I think that ruins the pace of the game entirely.
I don't hate them too much. It's usually when I don't know that one's there, which is why they scream really loud.
Yeah.
Just like my dad. Anyway,
at least the Marauders,
That's not funny anymore.
the Marauders you can bait them into, like, attacking them.
Yeah.
The Blood Angels, it's like, all right, I gotta just wait until they let me, and then if I miss it, I'm fucked.
Yeah. So here's an Archvile, like 10 minutes into the game. This is usually one of the more annoying enemies. I just killed it.
Yeah, Crucible. That's what the Crucible's for.
Yeah, until you stop using it, because we don't have the Crucible in this campaign.
Oh yeah.
If for whatever reason you're watching this and you're not familiar with the base game, you get an item near the end of the base game that's basically like, all right, here's 3 ammo for a weapon that basically one-shot kills whatever demon you need to one-shot kill.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, you have this tool, you can remove a demon from the chessboard, but, choose wisely. Is basically what the Crucible is. I forgot that there was a thing over here. So I'm obviously not, like, taking time to read the lore, but I'm showing you the cool pictures.
There's a fun bug over here where you can fall forever.
Oh, really? I never found that.
I posted it on Twitter.
Like, actually fall through the map or, like, get stuck in the falling animation?
You know the thing that, like, shoots you across the water? If you go slightly to the right and miss the wall that you're supposed to grab, you can just fall, and then you fall through the water, and then you fall forever, and then there's, like, random, like, particles in it's the weirdest shit I've ever seen. But, like, if I can find it, I'll send it to you.
That sounds perfect. This is peak game design. I do love this game. I'm gonna suck it off till I die, but it's not perfect.
Yeah, you go to hell and you continue sucking it
off. I really like this game
too. The unique
but
Trav demon is just a demonic Trav just sucking off a copy of Doom Eternal.
I mean,
it's the weirdest fucking thing I've ever seen. Anyway, I got a chainsaw now.
I mean, just to give my little brief opinion on the entire package as well. It's just, I generally like the game. Part of me still likes 2016 a smidge more, if only because I was around when the classic Dooms were around.
Sure.
So it's just one of those that feels more like what Doom is to me, whereas this feels like somewhere between Doom and, as mentioned, Quake and like a few other things. It's like, part of me just still likes 2016 a smidge more, but I realize that's personal preference.
Is it because, like, comparing the two? Because the one thing that really attracted me to Eternal so much that I still haven't played it to this day is that I loved what looked to be like really good movement options in Eternal.
Oh yeah,
like you are all over the place in this game.
Yeah, that's the one thing I'll definitely give Eternal over 2016. It's tough to go back to 2016 after having like the dashes and stuff.
But at the same time, I know people that prefer 2016 because you are more grounded.
I always said that
like you are not so.
I always said that if they do like a Quake sequel, they should I think they should do Doom the way Doom is now, and then if they do Quake, adopt 2016's kind of design philosophy for Quake. Because I do think 2016 feels a lot like Quake.
Yeah. So the big difference, I guess, with comparing 2016 to Eternal, is that Eternal is sort of like, you gotta play this game the way we want you to play this. Where 2016 is totally understandable if someone comes out of it thinking that it's more of like a weapons playground, which is totally fine. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. Whereas this game, it's like, all right, the most ammo you have for your shotgun is 24. Here's a chainsaw that regenerates chainsaw juice. Oh, a key card. And that's how you get your ammo back. Here's grenades, whose purpose isn't exactly to kill demons, but if you hit them with it, it'll knock them over. Time that over with other moves that will knock them over. And like treating your weapons like it's moves in a beat 'em up or a fighting game more so. Whereas in 2016, you really could just use the double barrel for the entire game, and nothing would penalize you for it.
At the same time, though, I think it restricts you in that regard, but I think like you still have a lot of freedom in like what weapons you use and what you do, because even when there's demons that quote unquote require certain things, it's really just like their weakness. Like there's a lot of things you can still do to take care of certain demons that aren't the primary way you're quote unquote supposed to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But
absolutely,
yeah.
I think that that feeling of a weapons playground sandbox that some people came out of 2016 with, I don't think that was intentional.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this is closer to what they were going for, but might not have gone well in playtesting because they just didn't have the right idea of how they wanted to do it yet. That's just my theory. I have talked with Hugo Martin, the director of these games, before. I didn't even think to ask him that. Anyways, we blew up a thing. Wow, look at that Intech 7 engine work.
I kind of like the voice just saying the Slayer has the keys, like you know who has it. We're putting a target on you right now.
The intercom comments about the Slayer are just amazing throughout this and the base game. So we got the key to the Big Angel Man. We're gonna take that to Big Angel Man.
Yay.
Uh-oh. Okay. Right. The game just kind of freezes you there. Like, you can't move. It's probably just for loading reasons.
Man, it's a long day.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, take a momentary.
God, I want to play this
respite.
game again. it's literally my favorite shooter.
Yes, I agree. Like, it's probably not my favorite first-person game, period. That probably goes to, like, Half-Life 2. But in terms of first-person game to play, yeah, this hands down.
I'd have to think
I
about
gotta be
what's
like,
my
Quake.
favorite FPS before
Like,
playing
Quake's
these
my
games.
favorite, but, like, this is my favorite.
Because, like, the last time I was really into the FPS scene was, like, 10, 12 years ago with Modern
That's when I
Warfare
thought I
2
hated
and
shooters.
Black Ops. Because they were all over the place.
Understandable.
Like, the market was so saturated.
I love them.
It wasn't just that, but they were moving over to more of
And Deathloop still didn't have a release date.
but that was around the era when shooters were predominantly becoming like tactical military sims. More
And also
so
just
than,
like
with online
online focuses.
Well, just also they looked the same in terms of like you're a guy with a gun shooting dudes, but like how you actually go about playing the game is completely different. So like if I grew up playing, you know, like Quake and stuff like that, and I thought I liked these games as a kid, and then like I'm a teenager and all these like, you know, military shooters are coming out that like I think, oh, first-person shooter, like, I like this. And then I start being like, wait, I guess I don't like shooters anymore. But really, it's just because my brain didn't, like, acknowledge that the design behind the game entirely was completely different, despite it looking similar.
Yeah.
So I thought I hated shooters for super long. I just hated the shooters that were coming out, I guess.
I think the issue also stems from just the idea of, like, trying to promote... It's really hard to fucking promote an FPS.
Yeah.
Because I feel that there's only so much you can put inside a 2-minute trailer to show what makes the game unique from any other FPS besides shooty
I mean,
bang,
give
bang.
somebody 30 seconds of this.
Yeah.
This is a unique case.
No, see, if I saw 30 seconds of this, I would just think shooty bang bang at two times speed.
Understandably. For what it's worth, I think they promoted this game very well, but you could tell that they had some very high production value for the trailers.
Yeah.
Like, they put a lot of money into promoting this game.
There was a lot of stuff that was in the trailers that also didn't make it into the game. most prominent one being the Archvile popping up in a level
Yeah,
he's not in.
that was disappointing. Oh, it's over.
Welcome to...
They just dies immediately.
That was so
Okay.
disappointing. Woo!
Well, we'll see you guys for the next one.